Hey Pisces, welcome to my channel. My name is Katie and today I'm going to be doing a timeless general reading for you. This is good for Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And as you know, I'm going to be taking the cards upright. Universe, please bring in the most relevant, accurate, useful, and important messages for Pisces. Please help Pisces in their current situations through the messages that come through the cards. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. Thank you for clicking on this video. I really appreciate you watching this. So let's see. I see here, Pisces, that you are becoming a master of keeping on, hanging in there, persevering against all odds. You're becoming accustomed to it to a certain extent. Maybe what in the past seemed incredibly difficult, certain aspects that you felt were not something you could overcome. Now, due to time, due to many circumstances, you're now becoming more and more used to facing problems, facing issues, overcoming them, being very patient, learning to take a break, not to give up. I feel like many of you are really maturing into this warrior energy of yours, and you're way more resilient than you used to be, Pisces. Like, way more resilient. Things that would have knocked you down in the past now are just like, you don't even register them. It's like, And I see that you have grown this very thick skin, Pisces, precisely because of what you have been through. And of course, it hasn't been easy. If you watch my channel, you know that many of the readings bring this up constantly. That Pisces is always, to a certain extent, you know, tested heavily. And maybe not tested, but just due to the sort of the service, I guess, the mission that we have as Pisces, the fact that we are incarnating as Pisces, meaning holding all of the qualities of previous signs, we've been through a lot. It is what it is, you know? And often in these readings, we see how that creates an effect. Sometimes positive, sometimes negative, but usually everything in between. And I see here with the Five of Pentacles and the Chariot that you're moving forward. I think there was a moment, Pisces, in which you were growing in maturity and you realized that maybe life wasn't so easy, or that maybe people were really rough, or that, you know, it's kind of ghetto out here, you know, being a human. And I feel like that may have shocked you for a minute there. Maybe a couple of years, you were kind of like, wow, like, do I really want to be here? Do I really want to play this human game? Is it worth it? Why are people like this? Why is there so much evil? Like, it took you a minute, I feel, to process that, Pisces. But I feel like once you did, you're like, well, you know what? It is what it is. So, moving on. And I feel like you're in that stage. You're kind of in that, you know, it is what it is. Some of you are feeling more comfortable with the idea that you're not going to have all the answers. Some of you are more comfortable with the idea that everything is just shapeless. You know what I mean? Before, I think that you really looked for the highs and the lows. You looked for the squares, the circles, and the triangles. You looked for the negatives and the positives. And somewhere along the line, it all became a mush. It all became this, like, shapeless, relative, everything is relative, everything is undefinable. And for a while, that may have been very confusing, annoying, frustrating. But then, at some point, Pisces, I feel like you grew into it. And now you're like, you know what, it is what it is. Everything is specific in how everything is not. What I'm trying to say is, every single situation you go through requires a specific discernment. Nothing is just simply good or right or wrong. Nothing is just simply obvious. Every single thing that you go through encompasses energies and people and astrology and morality and perspectives and relativity. And at some point you're like, I'll just cross that bridge when I get there. And some of you are starting to live a more easy life because of it. What before felt so heavy and so burdensome, I feel like some of you are just like, you know what, I'm not gonna know. There is no answer. Maybe there's an answer that applies for this situation, but not for this one. Maybe there is some kind of aha moment or discovery that changes this part of how I perceive my past, but not that other part. And at some point, I feel like instead of trying to fit a square into a circle, at some point you were just like, let's embrace the messiness of life. It is all messy. So how can we enjoy it? And I feel like you're at that moment, Pisces, in which you're realizing that what you resist persists. So the more you resist letting go of all of those things being defined, the more you resist it, the more you look for answers. It's like the least you find them. But once you don't need any answers and you're like, just it is what it is, everything starts to slowly and gently align on its own. This is a very particular message, Pisces. I know that this is not going to resonate for all of you. But if you know what I mean, if you kind of get the gist of it, like, please comment below. I would love to hear your perspective about it. Some of you are moving forward. You're not sure where, maybe? Some of you may be taking a moment to really tap into what interests you. Maybe you're opening a new cycle, maybe you're having more freedom, and you're like, well, what do I want to do with this freedom? What do I want to do with this new space, new opportunity? Where do I want to go? What makes you passionate, Pisces, you know? Some of you are like, what is worth my fire? Like, I have all this fire, and maybe in the past, Pisces, you used it to feel frustrated. You used it in search of some kind of justice or answers or specifics. And now all of that fire is available for you to use in pursuit of your passions. Because you're like, you know what, I'm not going to fight this anymore. It is what it is, fuck it. Like, and all of that energy that you use to almost battle life to a certain extent now is available for you to use. And some of you are thinking, all of this fire, am I going to use it to get healthier? I mean, am I going to use it to get wealthier? Am I going to use it to travel, to be happy, to purchase things, to sell my things? I don't know. But there is definitely fire here for you to use. I'm getting this reference to like dry fasting or like energy burning, metabolism, things like that. Almost, and also agate, crystal agate, purple agate. Some of you could be dealing with a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Isn't it frustrating? what I see here is that some of you could be very frustrated by the fact that you're not going to get certain answers and that you're not going to get certain closures or apologies from specific people. Some of you are just like, but I want to stay there. You know, like, I want to be in that almost battle because you want things to go a certain way. Some of you want to force things to go a certain way. And Spirit is telling you the sooner you let go, the sooner you start to move in the right direction. But some of you are going to have to get really tired in order to choose to move towards something other than the maybe plan that you had or ideal that you had, or that you have. The Pisces that are letting go and that are moving into the future and really saying, you know what, I'm going to take this opportunity to be happy, I think are the Pisces that are pretty much exhausted and done with going against the current of life. And that's the thing. There's some of you that are not tired yet, not enough anyway, for you to say, you know what, I let go. I let go of my need to be married by 25, or like my need to make this marriage work despite its abuse, my need to become the CEO of this company even if it kills me. You know what I mean? Like, some of you are getting into that energy almost, it's kind of brutal. I feel like the universe is almost like knocking you down, knocking you down, knocking you down until you realize that it's not worth it and that there are better things to pursue. Very harsh. Take it if it resonates. You know, that's not something anyone, I think, would love to hear, but that is what is coming through, Pisces. And I'm getting that the sooner you let go, the sooner... It's like as soon as you stop fighting, you start going with the current. So it's immediate, you know? And look at that. The star, wishes fulfilled. By looking for, or by, not looking for, by pursuing your happiness and living with this desire to discover what makes you happy, you're going to get a level of stability, wealth, health, love, joy, family, that you are not attaining by fighting for it. It's like by going against the current, Pisces, you're using all of your effort to stay in the same place. And in that place, you're not getting what you want. You think you're pursuing what you want, but you're stuck in the same space, going against the current, getting exhausted. And I feel like as soon as you let go, just everything falls into place. I'm getting this, I think it's a song by 𝗖𝗢𝗥𝗦𝗘𝗦, like, bless your soul, you think you're in control or something. And I do feel, of course, that we have a certain level of control, that's for sure, but I also feel like there are stronger forces at play here, and going against the current is just not smart. And I've been there, I spent, I think, half my life going against the current, if not more. But what I'm seeing here in these cards is, you know, it's not, right now, it's not the smartest thing to do. As soon as you let go, you start moving forward. As soon as you let go, everything becomes easy. But you may need to let go of something you thought you needed to be alive, something you really thought was non-negotiable. You may realize that it is actually quite toxic. So Pisces, interesting, letting it go. What are you letting go of? Let me know. I can't wait to hear, read these comments. I don't always get a chance to read them or answer them, but I always try. So please comment below, let other Pisces know what you're letting go of and how is this maybe applying for you. I love you so much, Pisces. You got this. You got this, and the universe has your back. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.